Going to our guest, Larry Nichols, Clinton insider, doesn't need any introduction. I've been interviewing him for 20 years. Been on air 21 years. And he's the consummate Clinton insider, the Clinton Chronicles, all of it couldn't have been done without him. MENA, the CIA drug dealing, all of it. He exposed it. He used to run their campaigns, and he wouldn't be part of the murders. And the Clintons have talked about how he's their big enemy. Now, I know early on in the Clinton administration, they tried to destroy certain people that were being nominated to the Supreme Court. That's when Nichols got to know them. And Nichols became an early source on the internet for a lot of folks out there. And he's battling cancer right now and obviously needs your prayers. That's another issue, but one reason he hadn't been on us the last few days. Also, it took him a few days to get back in touch with this person. He talked to him on the Monday after Scalia died on the Saturday. And Nichols said at the time, I don't know what happened, but it looks weird, no autopsy, and we're going to investigate all these people, and we're going to check into it. But it is perfect timing. Now, the Republicans have said that they're not going to have a hearing on it. Obama says he may bypass that with something called the nuclear option. So I want to cover the latest on Scalia, then the latest on the appointment, and then the latest on what he thinks about Trump, the campaign, Hillary, and so much more. I want to go boom, boom, boom through all this with Larry Nichols. Larry, thank you so much. And, buddy, you look better than you looked last week. So I
feel better.
Good. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Thank you for coming on with us. Obviously, people have been calling, emailing, tweeting. Alex, where's Larry Nichols? When are you going to tell us what the Supreme Court justice said? When are you going to tell us what happened? Well, you've been busy and weren't ready to comment. You still say this person now that you talk to doesn't want to have what they told you discussed. But let's start with the black sedan last Wednesday that was out in your driveway that would drive away every time you went out there, but you got photos of it driving away. You say you called the police, they came out. Let's start there. Let's start where we finished.
Well, technically what that was Homeland Security. And they told the police here that they had no jurisdiction over them and they could do any damn thing they wanted to do and pretty much let them believe that I had a one-way ticket to Gitmo. Now, what that meant, I have no idea. And Alex, if they want me, I live at 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas. I've never hidden it. Come on. Let's do what's got to be done. Just don't bore me to death. I think a lot of it has to do, Alex, with, how I end up in the middle of this junk, Alex, I never can figure out. But it has to do, I think, with some of the things that I was working on with the Scalia death. Now, here's what's coming. There's going to be an investigation. So many of the things that were given as evidence and witnesses' statements have turned out to be wrong. Erroneous, lies, whatever. There's fixing to be a serious investigation, and we're going to find out the truth about Scalia. Now, we may not find out about it through the mainstream media, but I assure you, I will know, and if I know, you'll know, and your audience will know. So that's coming. Now, what kind of got me in the middle of it is the guy that owns the ranch. His name is Poindexter. Alex, that's right, isn't it? Poindexter.
Yes, sir.
When I was with the Contras in Nicaragua, when we would fight in the southern part of Nicaragua, there you would team up with the Mosquito Indians. When we'd start being chased by the Sandinistas, we'd run across the border into Costa Rica into a safe farm, 5,000-acre farm, owned by John Hall. But he had a silent partner. Now, this is pretty dubious stuff, Alex, back in those days. This is pretty slippery stuff. Well, guess who his silent partner was? Poindexter.
Not Admiral Poindexter, but another Poindexter?
Another Poindexter. Matter of fact, it's the Poindexter that's got to do with the ranch.
You've confirmed that?
I've confirmed that.
Well, look at his background. He was in very secretive groups like you were from the Vietnam era, similar Army background. You're a Green Beret. He's connected to that. Then we've got the fact that he gets this special award created for him, given to him in person by Obama. He's part of these big brokerage firms that are connected to clandestine groups. I mean, that right there stinks. The story changing, no autopsy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get ugly. And what they're hoping, and I'm talking about Obama and the people involved in this, they're hoping that this will get totally buried by the election and it'll just go away. Well, it's not going to go away. It's not. And we're going to find out exactly what happened. And as you know, and folks, just so that you know, I have not shared anything with Alex. in private, I wouldn't. It's not fair to Alex. And to the bad guys, if you're listening, I don't talk to Alex privately, so don't worry with him. But that's coming. Now, Alex, I got another bit of news for you. The Republican hierarchy, the establishment, they have decided to forego fighting Donald Trump. They're not going to fight him.
Wow.
And
were you told this by insiders, or you're able to see the tea leaves?
No, I don't do tea leaves. What they're doing is they're setting him up for the convention. Now, I don't know how many conventions any of you have ever worked or been around, but I've been around a lot of them. The Republican convention, Alex, is kind of weird. You know, the Democrats have what they call superdelegates. Superdelegates, folks, when people go vote and they pick who they want to be their presidential nominee, well, that's the people. Well, the Democrats didn't like that, so they wanted to put control on it. So they created this group called superdelegates, which are basically sitting congressmen, senators, governors, people that are in politics that are in good standing with the party. So it overrules the people. So if you're a Democrat and you think you're voting for this person or that, you ought to just go to superdelegates and ask.
And Democrats are just now learning about this. It's been in place since '72. They can't believe it.
They can't believe it. Now, the Republicans have their nasty trick. It's called a brokered convention. When delegates are awarded because of the primary, they go to the convention. When they get to the convention, you'll know, Alec, notice it goes around the floor and everybody says, from the great state of Arkansas, we give cast our 28 votes to whatever. The second, if it's not 51%, when it goes around the floor the first time, the second time it goes around the floor, the delegates are released, Alex, from their commitment to their people.
That's right, because they're claiming that there's a stalemate. Now it goes to the party insiders.
That's exactly right. So what they intend to do is meet Trump there. And folks, that's a tough one to beat, Alex, but we will beat it. We will beat it.
Well, they tried to steal it from Reagan, and they said at least put George Herbert Walker on, and we're going to steal it. But he had such a landslide, but they were able to force Bush in there. Boy, that's why it's important for Trump to go in with a landslide of delegates, isn't it?
It is. Now, they also, because of that problem, they put in another little rule that exists today. There are some number of states, I don't know, I'm finding out who they are, but there are some number of states that the delegates don't even have to vote with the will of the people the first round. That's their protection device. You know, if you conceivably, the way Donald Trump's going, he could get enough delegate votes to where he wins the first round. Well, they're fixing to jam that up. They're going to jam it up on him. And they have foregone, they've given up trying to fight him. Now, that's coming. You know, Alex, they're doing everything, every dirty trick they can to enslave us. And this is all coming to a head very, very fast, down to and including the replacement for Scalia. As you know, the Republicans, whatever you want to call them, the Republicans have said they're not going to entertain looking into a replacement for Scalia. But most people don't realize, Alex, there is a law that was signed in 1970, I believe, and it says that a president in his last term, the last year of his last term, cannot appoint someone to the Supreme Court.
Unless there's an emergency.
Unless there's an emergency within the court. And Obama's fixing to use it. And when you hear Obama and the media talking about the nuclear option, Alex, you heard it first here when you and I talked about it last week. That's what the nuclear option is. And he's going to pull it. He's going to pull it. And when he does that, the whole dynamic of the country is going to change, Alex.
He's been doing it on open borders. He's been doing it on guns. He's been doing it on military. Will the Republicans sit there and let him do an emergency appointment?
You put me in the spot, didn't you? Did you do it on purpose?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to figure. I know we don't know, but at least they're blocking a hearing. I mean, they just can't let Obama do this.
The only reason the Republicans are blocking the hearing or give the sense that they're blocking the hearing is to get them through this election cycle. Once the election cycle is over in November, they fully intend to address the situation with Obama and put in a Supreme Court justice before the next legislature or the next Congress.
And that's why Obama keeps saying in due time. People want it now. He's going to wait till after the election.
He's going to wait.
Which shows there's a deal going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. That's what I try to tell people. They're not two teams, Alex. There's not. It's one. They get together. I've been there. I've been in the cloakroom. I've been in the meetings, and they come off the floor of Congress and they say, boy, Teddy Kennedy, you sure knocked me in the butt on that speech you gave. And then Orrin Hatch will say, yeah, and then they're just buddies. It's all an act.
And that's the old guard. They're threatened by the libertarians, the Ron Paul types, and the Trumpians, and that's why there's a war. The old establishment thinks it can keep suppressing this giant populist explosion. If they steal it from Trump, man, there's going to be civil unrest. And maybe that's what Obama wants. Then he'll trigger it. He's got his Black Lives Matter group thawed out, ready to activate.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's the thing, Alex, that people need to know. We're getting boxed in. People can think Obama's messing up. Hey, that old boy's pulling every trick he wants to pull. He's pulling it. And you're exactly right. He would love nothing better than for Trump to get cheated out of the election, for there to be an uprising, and then boom, he's now king. You don't have to worry about a president. He'll be it. He'll be king forever, at least until he doesn't want to be king. Now, another thing happened in Nevada. And by the way, I got word a friend of mine went down there, Chad King, the guy that produced the States' Right video for me. He went down and he met with Richard and Matthew, your guys. And thanks to the effort that they did, working with a lady named Miriam Witcher, 46% of the Latino vote went with Trump. That has brought Washington to its knees. That has Hillary's team scared pink because, remember, the rules with the Clinton campaign is a broken coalition.
Stay there. Explain it to us on the other side. And I'm going to play the clip of Obama making the joke about having to appoint a new judge at the governor's conference and all the cackling and weirdness that went on. That looks like a serious celebration to me. Very, very sick. I mean, is it another message? Like the pillow on the face? Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishies? Stay with us. You know, I've known a lot of people like you, Larry, that was well-known. People can look it up, Green Beret, Special Forces, operations all over the world. I know a lot of people that are Navy SEALs, Delta Force, guys that can do 300 pull-ups, stuff, guys that can literally tear your head off your body. The guys they got now are like, they're finding the guys with the, double Y chromosomes and all the rest of it. Supermen. And then I love people like Hillary and Obama, the folks that never do any of the killing, but they order the killing. I've noticed only killers that actually never did the killing love to brag about it and smirk and say, I'm a good killer. I'm good at killing people. All the real killers I know are kind of sad about the killing and don't brag about it. They don't see it as good luck. What is it with the bragging about all this? And then let's get into, because I got to go soon, into once he gets through the broker convention, and then what do you expect the Clintons to pull then?
Well, Hillary's on her way. She is on her way. Everything she needed to accomplish, you and I talked about when she first announced she was running, she is about accomplished it. Look, when was the last time you heard anything major about the email scandal? I mean, they mention it periodically, but not like it was. All of this is going away. By the time the election starts, the general election, you're going to hear Hillary say 1,000,000 times, it's already been thoroughly investigated. Nobody found anything. It's those mean, right-wing conservative Republicans that have stirred all this up.
And she couldn't be an astronaut, and everybody was mean to her.
Yeah, and then they're mean to her. She's going to run a tough campaign. Now, I would offer this caution to Donald Trump. I hope he wins this primary, and it looks good for him right now in the primary season. But Alex, if you can talk to Mr. Trump, you need to tell him this is going to be just like playing tiddlywinks compared to running against Hillary. It'll be brutal. That will be a brutal campaign, and he's going to have to get ready.
Do you think Hillary, I mean, we know Hillary's ordered a lot of deaths. Do you think she'd have enough huevos to actually order in the middle of a campaign for him to be poisoned, have a heart attack, blow his plane up?
All right, let me say it this way. As you know, Alex, I have never said the Clintons ever actually killed anybody or ordered them to be killed. However, people have died by the dozens around them. Now, talking about Hillary, would she be the kind of person that would have no trouble saying off the guy? Hillary would do it in a second. In a second. Now, I hope Trump is using alternate security than just the Secret Service, because he's going to need it. You know, Donald Trump is standing up for America right now on illegal immigration and many other subjects. He's at risk. And Hillary and them have a perfect opening. You know, a bunch of Mexicans could come in and shoot at Trump, and she'd just go, what difference does it make? It wasn't me. He was saying he was going to close the border. So you got to watch out. It's going to get serious. We're talking, Alex.
Oh, we got the Pope coming out against him. I mean, everybody, Trump's good, folks. He is our champion now. Regardless, this is epic, and people are still sitting on the sidelines. Just wait till they get him. Then people are going to feel really bad. In closing, talking to this Supreme Court justice, and I know you said there were a few other tidbits, but what can we know? That there is an investigation going on. Will we be hearing about it? Is it governmental or private?
How do I say this and not get somebody in trouble? There will be a government investigation, but in the interest of keeping it honest, there has been a vote to make a parallel private investigation. So there will be an investigation, both government and private, and we're going to know the outcome.
Wow. Thank you, Larry Nichols. Thank you very much, my friend. We'll talk to you. And you're saying that's from a Supreme Court justice? Do one more minute with us. I know you got to go, but I want to come back and finish that. All right, Larry Nichols has got to go, but I want him in his own words, because we're up against a break. Some of it was getting cut off. Recap the Supreme Court justice he talked to without giving the name. We have that info. We saw last week when he was on, he's out in the countryside, black SUV pulling in, pulling out. When he go outside, he got a photo of it. The police came. He's called the local police. They talked to him. They said, hey, we're Homeland Security. There's nothing you can do. And did they really add the smart mouth comment, Larry, you know, that Mr. Nichols is going to be going to Gitmo?
He got a one-way ticket to Gitmo. Now, I don't know. I mean, I didn't talk to him, but I can't imagine where the PD would have gotten a comment like that. That's not something they would have said. So
you know the local PD well. You've been there forever. I mean, describe what happened there, and then in a minute or two, recap that you're saying, and you're a credible guy over the years for me, that you talked to Supreme Court justice, and the word is there's going to be there's going to be a federal investigation, and there's also a parallel private one. Go ahead.
Right. Well, first off, what happened last week is right on the air while we were talking. I go to let the dog out and do his little wee-wee break. What did I find in the driveway? A black SUV. I walk outside to see what it is. They back up to the end of the driveway. Well, I turned around thinking they were just turning around. I walked back to the door. They pull back up. I turned back around, walk back out. And I knew something was up then. Two bruisers sitting in the front seat. The windows were blackened on the side, but I could see through the front window. That's how close they were. And then I finally got a picture through the phone. That happened. That's just coming. We're not in America anymore, folks. This isn't America like we thought it was. Now, Scalia, there's going to be a joint investigation, one by the government through a special prosecutor, the other through an independent parallel, so that there can be no doubt as to the credibility of the investigation.
Larry, start over. That's your coming. Skype cut out magically. Start over again on the investigation.
There's going to be a parallel dual investigation, one by a special prosecutor for the government and the other by a special private investigation unit, so that there can be no doubt as to the findings of what happened to Justice Scalia. That's coming. And as soon as it does, step by step, I'm told I will know. And if I know, you will know, Alex. And all I can say to everybody in closing, believe in Donald Trump. Please, let's work. And Alex, we'll be dealing with these things coming up, what they're planning in the convention and all that, and we'll talk about what we can do to stop it. But, folks, this is our time. This is our country, and I think, Alex, you'll join with me. We lose this election, there ain't going to be another. It's over.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Nichols, for joining us. Clearly, the entire power structure is against him because they don't know who he is. Well, we see what he's doing, And we know it's a better move than Hillary. And so regardless, this is an epic time to be alive. Thank you so much, Mr. Nichols.
You bet, Alex. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. And if you're watching right now, he's leaving us now. Larry is battling cancer. He's been coming on the show for 20 years. He never asked for support. He came on probably 50 times back in like 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000 during the Clintons. And I had him on a few times since then. He never asked for anything, never wrote a book, never did anything. But he was a successful guy in business, everything. Now he's out there battling cancer. I mean, even has a tracheotomy in. And I'm going to put his address up on screen for folks who support him. The more medical care he gets, the longer they can keep him alive. He's been open about that. He just wants to stay alive through this election. And he's a tough guy. Larry Nichols, 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. And his PayPal is nicholslive@AOL.com. And he has been getting some donations. He wanted to thank all of you for that. And he's been able to get some of the medical care he needs. We were up there about 4 months ago and shot a documentary with him. And we're going to probably edit that in with all this new information. And he literally is living hand to mouth with the cancer he's been battling for several years, lung cancer. And it's progressed. But he's a fighter. And he's literally, like he said, he's bored. If they're going to just come kill him, you know, just come on. I'm kind of in that position. You know, it's just, I'm not afraid of these people anymore. At least I'm not traitorous sacks of garbage like they are. At least I can look my children in the eyes and feel like a man.